Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out XRP's price charts in a bit, but before that we are going to talk about a very important positive news about XRP, because as you can see in this week only we have seen about a 28% rise, and just in the last 24 hours the price has kind of jumped another 10%, trading now at about $2.8. But what is really interesting isn't just the price move necessarily itself. No, it's actually who's buying. You see, according to some on-chain data, the number of XRP whales, meaning wallets holding at least 1 million XRP tokens, has reached to an insane all-time high of about 2,743. And even more importantly, these whales now hold a whopping, and I really mean it, a whopping 47.3 billion XRP tokens. So why is this such a big deal? Because whale accumulation often signals that big experienced investors see real potential ahead, and they don't just buy because the price is currently up. No, they actually buy because they expect even more growth in the near to possibly mid to long-term future. And there is even more. You see, the recent price jump liquidated over, I think it is about $31 million in short positions, which shows that many traders betting against XRP, they just got caught by surprise. And this adds even more fuel to the rally. So in summary, number one, more whales are buying XRP than ever. Number two, they are holding a record amount of supply. Number three, price action is definitely looking great, with possibly a very strong breakout after months of consolidation. And finally, large bearish bets are being kind of wiped out. All of this points to a very bullish structure, and you might ask, well, okay, what does this mean for the future? Well, you see, these signs do, in my opinion, suggest that the bull run is simply not over yet, and what we have seen in the last, I would say, 2-3 months, it's just a resting phase before yet another major rally. So overall, definitely we are having positive news for XRP. The question is, do we have also the right structures in terms of technical analysis, and specifically in my field of Boris Elliott waves on the live chart? The answer, I believe, is yes. You see, the last time that we talked about XRP, we were somewhere around these areas, and the idea was that these highs are quite close together, and soon we can expect a move up in order to grab the liquidity above the highs. But if you remember, I believe in the previous video specifically, I said please consider after this move up maybe a move down in order to also grab the liquidity under the lows here as well, and then we can have maybe some more chopping around, followed by yet another huge move on the upside. So what happened? We definitely didn't get this face down, but if you remember, we talked about this point in the previous video. One way or the other, all the scenarios that we talked about in the short to midterm pointed to some strong upward price action. It's just the fact that we actually got it from the current point. Now, the move up itself in here from my POV is not really that important. There are two much more important points in here. Number one, this is quite a strong move up, which is a very important characteristic of an impulsive structure. So what is it that I'm trying to say? You see, there is actually a good chance that in XRP we are having maybe a 1-2 huge move up into wave 3. Hopefully this is going to be correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, which on a higher degree might be into wave 3, correction for 4, another move into wave 5, and this might be into yet another wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. This move up is definitely, in my opinion, a bullish sign. Now, here is another very important sign that this move up actually has. You see, in terms of classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances, in XRP, the only thing that stands between us and setting an all-time high and taking the highest high somewhere around $3.50 area, we talked about it so many times, is this important resistance between, let's say, $2.50 to about $2.7. Now, it seems like that we want to finally get a break of it, And this is the key, pay attention, it's not at the moment confirmed that we are breaking it. When will it get confirmed? You see, if you want to say this area is broken, you need to see an initial move above it, followed by a consolidation pattern in here, and then yet another move up in order to take this important high. So I'm going to argue, if we get from here, or maybe like a bit lower, not important, a move up in order to take this high, at that point it is probably going to be confirmed that we have broken this important level. And why does that matter? Because above here we really do not have a whole lot of strong resistances, so makes sense to argue that the next target is going to be about 20-30% higher, somewhere around the all-time high, around $3.5. But I think we are not going to stop there, because an all-time high is not really a resistance. No, I believe we are going to go quite a bit higher than that. And for example, a $4 to $5 XRP in the short term at that point is not really going to be that unrealistic. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's just take everything step by step. And for now, I believe we should absolutely 100% pay attention to what is happening to this important resistance area. Are we going to get a break of it or not? If we do break it, okay, that is going to be a very, very important bullish confirmation, suggesting this boring price action hopefully is finally over, and we can expect some more massive moves on the upside in XRP. Overall, do not get me wrong, even if we get a move on the downside from here, we are going to remain absolutely 100% bullish. And here is actually a very important reason for why I am so optimistic in XRP. You see, if you want to say that I am actually wrong and we are now absolutely in a bear market, then okay, you need to be able to find off of the highest high in XRP a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure down, and this is kind of the problem. Let's zoom more in here and see what is happening. Let's hide everything. Okay, let me ask you this. How exactly are you able to find from this high to about this point a 5 wave down? Are you going to say that this is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the downside? Because honestly, you really cannot argue that. Why? Because if you want to say this is your wave 3, well, okay, inside that you need to be able to find 5 waves, but this is clearly a 3 wave movement and not 5 wave. On the other hand, you can absolutely argue that this is just a simple A, B, C running flat. And well, I do actually agree on the fact that this is a 5 wave down, this is yet another 5 wave, and well, these are the subwaves for an ABC down from the highest high in this initial phase and not an impulse, meaning overall in XRP, whatever kind of move that we are having is just going to be a correction, and this means our bull run overall is simply not over yet. And also here is another reason to be very much optimistic. See, this is about a 7-year long-term consolidation pattern, and these types of price actions usually lead to some major price explosions in the short to mid-term. And I really have a hard time believing that in this bull run, we only by like a very small margin set an all-time high and took the highest high, and that is going to be at the end of XRP's bull run in this cycle. This is going to be very unusual, and I'm not going to say it's like absolutely impossible, no, because they say never, but it is very much unusual to a degree that is not going to be my primary case. It's very important to understand that. So for the reasons that we talked about in today's update, overall, I am one way or the other absolutely bullish, but whether in the short term we can say our correction in XRP is over or not, I think it actually completely depends on what are we going to do with this important resistance area. Get a break of it with absolute authority, and at that point you are going to see me being much more bullish in XRP just for the short term. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Ripple charts. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.